Hello Skele Vaderites. So welcome to part 3 of this new Snake Mountain build. Today I'm going to be adding or finishing off this side of the mountain, which means I'm going to be adding level 1 or level 2 and then level 3, which should align with level 2 and level 3 of that side. And then I'm going to start building out a little bit of the inside as well. So I'm going to finish up the outside walls and start creating the basic shapes of what's going to be on the interior. And I've got some exciting ideas of how to create a bit more three-dimensionality on the inside of this Snake Mountain as opposed to previous ones. So let's get started. Okay, so as you can see, I've added this level here, including a pathway from one side to the other, and I've also added a level here. This also has an area where a stairwell or a ladder can come up here. I'm thinking about doing a stairwell that comes like this, or just have the ladder here. And these both sides are installed as well. Now, when I use the spray foam, I like to add extra so that I can carve away at it. I find that it's much easier to take away from material than to add on to material later on. Instead of having to add on to this connective area, I could have used a larger piece. So it was just a little bit more difficult, a little bit more of a challenge than to carve away at it once it was installed. But I'm really happy with where this is going. So let's do more. So as you can see here, one of the benefits of being able to carve away at the material rather than continuously adding on is that I'm able to sort of start creating a rough rock structure. You know, this technique is used with creating Muppets as well. They use foam and then they start with a large piece and they trim it down until they get the Muppet face. So I've got these extra pieces now, some really cool shapes happening down here on the lower level. And the extra pieces, they're gonna be saved for later on. Always save those pieces, folks. Okay, let's talk a little bit about my plans for this build. But first, before I get into all that, I want to send a huge thank you to all of you who are watching. When you click like, when you subscribe to this channel, and when you just chime in with your comments down below, or just watch, it means the world to me. Thank you so much for being here and joining me on this journey and all of my other little journeys. So thank you so much. But also a huge thank you to the patrons of this channel. Those of you who are already Patreon members of the Skele Vader channel, you know who you are. Thank you so much for your generosity and for your help with this channel and all of these endeavors. Now let's talk about my plans for this build. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I am planning to include more details in this particular build. The person who commissioned this, he indicated that he really wanted some additional details, especially in the interior. So I'm going to show you a couple of images here. This is from the Art of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe book. Just to give you an example, right up here in this image, gives a good example of the kind of aesthetic that I'm going to be going for the interior. The Filmation Snake Mountain interior. Here's another good example too. I really like these sort of jagged and organic shapes that are inside of this particular Snake Mountain, the Filmation version. You'll notice here there's the table here with the orb and the bone throne. I'm going to be including those as well in this build. And then also, because I love it so much, I'm going to be focusing a lot on this particular style of the outside design, the Icon Heroes Snake Mountain. I do spend a lot of time thinking about this particular Snake Mountain because it's so similar to the Super 7 Snake Mountain playset. But if you'll notice up here, there's sort of an interesting, they're not afraid to put the doorway up here toward the back, which I did with my last build. But there's a demon head up here. There's a lot more sort of shapes, organic shapes here. I like this pathway. I did it before. I'll be doing that again. And I like that it goes up. I might even try to go under the snake, create a little cavern through here, up and around. So I've just been spending a lot of time thinking about this particular build and what I want to do differently with this one. Now that I've got you here, I'd also like to invite you to join me and my friends in these two different endeavors that we do, that I do through the Skele Vader channel and through the realm of podcasts. So if you're not already watching Toy Frenzy on Thursday nights, do join us there. It's a great time. We talk about Masters of the Universe. We talk about toys. Sometimes the conversation leads into Mythic Legions territory or other territories based on toys. We always seem to come back to Masters of the Universe. And then also I speak with my friend Mark, who has the Wake Up Heavy podcast, once a month on Cambridge and Washawn, and we talk about our obsession with weird things growing up, and even current obsessions as well, because a lot of those obsessions, they stem from childhood and then lead us right through our adult lives if we are still hanging on to those things, and Mark and I do that. So do listen to Cambridge and Washawn as well. All right, so now that I've gotten all that out of my system, let's continue with this build.